Hello, I'm Kirk D. Lyons, Chief Trial Counsel of the Southern Legal Resource Center, the only nonprofit legal advocacy group that fights for the civil and constitutional rights of the Confederate community and all Americans. The Southern Legal Resource Center is beginning a series of informative news clips on Morris Dees and the Southern Poverty Law Center. The Southern Poverty Law Center was ostensibly founded back in the early 70s to fight the Klan. Well, Klan's been out of business for a long time and they're still around. Morris Dees and the SPLC, as they're called, are much in the news today as a source of information of Southern heritage groups and personalities. In many cases, the information is treated as if it is from an unbiased source. In order to assist the public and the media to understand the lack of credibility, the lack of character, the very real leftist bias and left-of-center agenda of Morris Dees and the Southern Poverty Law Center, the SLRC several years ago created the Morris Dees Fact Sheet, available on request from the Southern Legal Resource Center. Now, the Morris Dees Fact Sheet is not up to date. We haven't updated it in the last few years. But the background information is spot on and catalogs over 30 years of lies, deceit, suborning perjury, and other high crimes and misdemeanors committed by Morris Dees. And all the while, he's doing these things, getting filthy rich, dunning money from all over America as a nonprofit group, which of course is why Morris Dees has pursued this line of attack against traditional America. Even though the Southern Poverty Law Center endowment numbers in the hundreds of millions of dollars, Dees still actively fundraises. Those monitoring groups that look at nonprofit fundraising consistently give Morris Dees and the Southern Poverty Law Center an F for their deceitful and disingenuous fundraising practices. Since there are only a limited number of hate groups and extremists in America today, Dees, to stay in business, has seen fit to demonize the entire traditionalist Christian conservative agenda in America, so that Christian evangelists and pastors, immigration reform advocates, and even heritage defenders like the Sons of Confederate Veterans have been attacked by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Of course, some of us have been in Morris Dees' crosshairs for many years. Years ago, in my criminal practice days, I successfully defended several high-profile, controversial government dissidents, who, of course, the government called them haters, white supremacists, white separatists, threw them every name in the book. These people whom I investigated were actually innocent of the charges against them that were filed by the government. The government was simply wanting to put them out of business and was using their beliefs and their belief systems as some kind of evidence against them in order to dishonestly secure convictions. I fought these abuses in several cases and won. And because of that, I have been the target of Morris Dees ever since. And in a way, in some areas, I have become his poster child to scare East and West Coast liberals and black housewives out of their hard-earned money. You know, Dees scares them and they clean out their cookie jar and send the money to him. Dees was accused in 1975 of the very serious crime of attempting to suborn perjury from a law enforcement witness in the Joanne Little murder trial, which took place here in North Carolina. Dees was actually arrested and removed from the court for attempting to suborn perjury. Now, he was able to beat the rap, or beat the charges later, but the judge never was convinced that he was innocent and never allowed him back in the courtroom. Dees appealed this through the Court of Appeals and lost. And I have even talked to law enforcement officers in the eastern part of North Carolina that knew this particular witness and swear up and down that Dees did try to suborn perjury from this witness. So, Dees has followed a consistent pattern in his career over the last over 30 years of getting witnesses to lie, fabricating stories against legitimate mainstream conservative organizations and personalities, and usually he does this by linking and tying them dishonestly to extremist groups that are further to the right. So please stay tuned as we tell the Morris Dees story. And while you're at it, please email or write the Southern Legal Resource Center for a free copy of the Morris Dees Fact Sheet. While you're at it, send the SLRC the most generous donation that you can to SLRC, P.O. Box 1235, Black Mountain, North Carolina 28711. Look for us on Facebook, and please check out our website at www.slrc-csa.org. Now, the Morris Dees fact sheet and other contact information will be on our YouTube page. When you are watching this YouTube video, if you will look to your right of the screen, you'll see where you can access a copy of the Morris Dees fact sheet, and there will be contact information for the Southern Legal Resource Center. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening, and I look forward to bringing you additional information.